Merhabalar herkese. Hepiniz IEFT Talks seminerlerine hoş geldiniz. Bugün Amerika'da online ve yüz yüze İngilizce eğitim programları ile Temple University Center for American Language and Culture'dan Jackie ve Janice bizlerle olacak. Lütfen sorularınızı sağ alt köşede Questions bölümünden yönlendirmeyi unutmayın. Yes, Jackie, the stage is yours now.
Great. Thank you, Zainab. And hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. We are Temple University, representing the Center for American Language and Culture. And with you today is me. I'm Jackie McCafferty, the director of the center. And Janice, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Janice. I'm the assistant director for Temple Center of American Language and Culture. Thanks for being here with us.
Great. Okay. So, and we should say merhaba. We're going to cover a few things today. Temple University in Philadelphia, we'll tell you a little bit about. And then we're talking about graduate programs at the center. So hopefully everybody here is interested in graduate level type English programs, language programs, or pathway programs into graduate school. And then we're going to have a little language fun and then some questions and answers. Regarding the questions and answers, you can always type your questions in the chat. Janice will be checking the chat and can respond to your questions, or can say your question aloud and then I can respond. Okay, so don't be shy. Okay, so Temple University. Does anyone know where we are located? This is something you can write in the chat. Any idea where Temple University is? It's kind of a trick question because we are located in the United States, in Philadelphia, which is the main campus, but we also have a campus in Rome, Italy, and Tokyo, Japan. So the beautiful thing about Temple is you can study at the main campus, but you can also spend time in Italy or Japan taking classes as well. Italy only has undergraduate classes. Japan does have graduate level classes as well. In addition to those three campuses, we have partnerships with other universities around the world, which allows students at Temple to have an international experience. So we truly are a global campus. Okay, I'm going to do a quick video. This is a great video to give you a good sense of Philadelphia, the energy of the city and the university.
Independence, defined in Philadelphia in 1776 and practiced by Temple students every day. So when we say Temple is part of Philadelphia, we're not just talking a mailing address. We live this city.
Okay. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of a feeling for the city, which whoops, hold on. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. Let's just close that out. There we go. Okay. Back to the presentation. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of a feeling for the city and the energy. We are the second largest city on the East Coast. If anyone wants to take a guess what the first largest city is, you can do that in the chat. And then Janice, you can let us know if anyone guessed correctly. We're also known as the birthplace of the United States. So this is where we started back in 1776. We are home to 15 Fortune 500 companies. That is important because if you do your undergraduate or graduate studies in the United States and at Temple, you want to know that there's plenty of business opportunities for you afterwards, plenty of work opportunities. We have the second largest university population in the United States. So in the Philadelphia region, there are actually 30 institutions of higher education. So it is a university city, it's a young city, and there's a lot happening here. And in 2021, we were voted by Time Magazine as one of the world's 100 greatest places. So we're really proud of that. Okay, so a little bit about Temple University. We are a Research One doctoral institution. What does that mean? That means that we're among the highest level of research in the country. So every year we get over $290 million in sponsored funding for research. If you are interested in going to graduate school, and doing research especially, this is the type of institution you want to go to. We are actually in the top 50 of public schools among national universities. And according to QS World University Rankings, we are in the top 70. So we are a large institution. We have over 37 students, that's undergraduate and graduate, and of those, over 2,000 international from over 130 countries. And we've been around for a long time, since 1884. We are comprehensive, so we have 17 schools and colleges and over 600 academic degree programs. So we have just about everything you can imagine here. A little bit about our support. So Temple University is very well known for giving a great deal of support to its international students. We actually have our own International Student Affairs office. Many universities do not have that. So we have an office on campus dedicated solely to international students. In addition to that, the Center for American Language and Culture, we call it TCALC, we have our own student services as well. We work closely with the International Student Affairs, and together we offer a lot of activities, events, opportunities for leadership. We also have an International Student and Scholar Services office. These are the people who help you with all of your legal documentation, your visa questions, all of that. In addition to all of that international support, every student has access to the university-wide support. And by every student, I mean whether you're undergraduate, graduate, or studying English at the center. You have access to our Success Center, where you can get tutoring, engage in a conversation partners to improve your English. You have access to our Career Center, which helps with resume building and can connect you to businesses and help you prepare for interviews. And then, of course, all of our health and wellness resources. And speaking of health and wellness resources, Temple University does have a vaccine mandate. So every student at Temple University is required to get the vaccine or to show proof of exemption, and that could be medical or religious. So as of now, 97% of the Temple community is fully vaccinated, and we're really proud of that. Students who are not vaccinated can get free vaccines at Temple, and then also free testing whenever you need it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about TCALC and what TCALC can do for you to help you pursue your goals. So if you are planning to go to graduate school, or maybe you're already accepted to a graduate program in the United States, we have different programs for you. One of them is the Graduate Academic English. I'll talk about that. That's a short-term program that prepares you to enter graduate school. And the other one is Graduate Access Temple, which is actually a pathway program into graduate school. The prices for GAE start at $179. That would be for one class. And the Graduate Access Temple varies. We also have programs for professionals. So that could be, you know, a graduate student who has been a professional is looking to graduate and enter the professional world. So we have, for those of you who are in the tourism and hospitality management industry, we do have an online certificate. This is a professional development certificate, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And then we have some online, just basic English, not basic or advanced actually, English classes. And those, the price is $324, and I will talk about those as well. So these are online, and let's talk a little bit about these. So for in-person programming, I mentioned the Graduate Academic English. This is a 4-week pre-graduate program series of classes. It's 4 weeks. The dates you see here, July 18th to August 12th. And it basically prepares you to succeed in graduate school. You'll focus on research, writing, advanced academic vocabulary, public speaking. And you could do this full-time or part-time. If you want to do it full-time, you will be in class about 25 hours a week for the 4 weeks, and you will need an F1 visa. If you want to do it part-time, you can do it on a B1, B2 visa or through Visa ESTA. Then we also have Graduate Access Temple. This is our pathway program. So this is for students who actually are accepted into a graduate program at Temple, but they still need to work on their English skills. And this is a full-time program. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Graduate Access Temple. So how many students here are actually thinking of applying to a graduate school in the United States or already have? Can you just type that in the chat? And then Janice, can you let me know? And while they're doing that, I'll just keep talking. So the way this works, it's conditional admission, and you would actually apply to the graduate program of your choice. And then if you meet the academic requirements, but not the language requirement, you will be accepted. And then they will send you to our center, and you will do English classes until you get into the graduate program. The thing about this, however, and I'm going to take you to the website real quickly, is there are only certain programs that participate in this. So what you would need to do is check out the website and see if any of the programs listed here is what you're interested in. If you see what you're interested in, so we have law, music and dance, public health, media and communication, and art and architecture. And you can see all of the various majors listed here. If one of these is the major you want, then you would just click on the link. It takes you to the application page for that major. And then you go through that process. If you have questions, you would contact the person for that particular college. And they are all well informed about Graduate Access Temple, and they can all assist you with that process. Okay. And then once you're accepted, you come to us. So the question is, well, what if you want to study something that's not listed there? That's not a problem either. This happens a lot. And what usually happens with that is students will come study in our intensive English program and apply to the program of their interest. And then I usually connect with that admissions office. I explain what you're doing in our program, working on your English, and typically they will accept our certificate instead of you having to take TOEFL or IELTS. So that's just another way you can do it. So we're very supportive of students who want to get their graduate degree, but still need to work on their English before they do that. And this is another graduate level program. This one is really interesting for those of you in tourism and hospitality management. So together with Temple's School of Tourism and Hospitality Management, we have this online certificate, and it allows you to do both English and the tourism classes at the same time. So basically, you would take these 3 classes: tourism, economics and policy, cultural intelligence, and understanding tourism in the 21st century. This is all online. And you would take these 3 classes to improve your English online, and everything would be geared toward that industry of tourism and hospitality management to improve your English. Typically, students can do this in 6 to 9 months. And this is 9 credits, as you can see here. These are graduate level credits. And if you wanted to pursue a master's degree, these 9 credits would then go toward your master's degree at Temple University. Okay, a little bit about our online classes. So I know most people want to be able to go abroad and perfect their English in the country where English is spoken all the time, but that isn't always practical, and it's not always possible depending on what your situation is. So we have these 2 classes that we offer online. The beautiful thing about these classes is that we have 6 sessions a year. Each session is 7 weeks, and it meets only 2 hours a week, but it's a very intensive 2 hours. And you can see the cost here, $324. So this first one, Professional and Academic Conversations in English, is for high intermediate to advanced. And this is really geared to develop your academic and professional English vocabulary and style. There's a certain style, it's an American English style, and you would learn that in this class. If you are preparing to study in a graduate program in an English-speaking country or classroom, or to work, or you are working in an English-speaking workplace environment, this is a really great class for you because this is all about natural speech. So it really gets you speaking with others. You're doing debates. You're learning how to negotiate. You're solving problems together as a team, all in English and all guided by the instructor and the materials provided. But you, the student, you're the ones who are really talking and doing everything. The outcome of this class is that you improve both your fluency and your confidence in English. We also have a presentation and pronunciation class. This is for a slightly lower level, intermediate to high intermediate. This is a little more structured. It helps you to plan, research, and organize your presentations and present your presentations. It works on your delivery skills, including your speaking volume, eye contact, and generally speaking, there is a speaking style, an American English speaking style that you would really practice. in terms of presentations. You will also receive individual feedback on your pronunciation and assistance on working on certain pronunciation points that you might need some assistance in. The goal for this one is also to improve fluency and increase your confidence when it comes to presentations. Okay, so all of those classes, again, would be great for anyone at the graduate level, or if you're a professional or soon to become a professional and you know you're going to be working in an English-speaking workplace or with a lot of English-speaking people. What we're going to do now is move on to having a little bit of fun with English, and I'm going to hand it over to Janice right now. Janice?
Yes, thanks, Jackie. Hi, everyone. This comes very timely because Ida just asked a question. Are your conversation classes fun? So hopefully you have a little bit of fun here and you take away some interesting tips. So let's have some fun with English. Please type your answers in the chat. I hope that you will be engaging and trying to interact with me. Okay, so let's take a look at the next slide, Jackie. So we're just going to ask you some questions, and hopefully you have some ideas. There's no right or wrong answers. We're just, again, here to learn and have fun. So as Jackie mentioned, some of the classes that she presented on will be online. And let's just take a look at this question. When we're giving presentations in English, the first question is, what would make this online presentation stronger? So we have two different pictures here. Picture one, we have a picture of a young woman sitting in front of her computer. And then number two, we have a picture of what looks like a young man, again, in front of his computer. So for number one, what would make this presentation stronger? And for number two, what would make, Ida says, is she in her PJs? It looks like she might be. It looks like she might be. Not sure if that's an appropriate attire for an online presentation, but thanks for interacting. What about number two? How can he do better here? Okay, well, let's just look at the next slide. Let's see. So for question number one, some of the answers are dressing appropriately. As Ida says, you know, maybe don't wear your pajamas when you're presenting online or in person for that matter. Create a clean space behind you. So make sure that, you know, we're in our homes, we live here. Make sure that things are tidy behind us. And then as Faiza says, she says, I cannot see his face. Exactly. So you can't see his face because the lighting is not good. So make sure you check your lighting. Lighting is really important. We know that. I think many of us are taking pictures of ourselves for social media, and lighting is everything, right? So make sure that your face is lit so that people can see you clearly. All right, so next one. Now we're going to be talking a little bit about speaking in English. And the question here is, what would make this speaker sound more confident? So let's have a look at this video, and you can type your ideas in the chat.
Hi, my name is Alexa, and I'm going to be talking about a fun fact about dance. And in 1988, there was a world record set for longest conga line dance, and it was like 119,986 people in Miami in 1988, and the world record hasn't been broken since then. So that's really cool.
So any ideas how this speaker could sound or look more confident? This is one of our colleagues, by the way, and she is acting. So you're not going to hurt anyone's feelings. All right, let's take a look at the next slide. So firstly, someone says something very funny in the comments if you want to take a look. but smile and make eye contact. So smiling does a lot at a presentation. It makes you feel more confident. It makes the audience feel more relaxed. And make eye contact. Eye contact is very important. Take deep breaths. If you are feeling a little bit nervous, it's very, very normal. It's very natural. Just take a deep breath before you start. Maybe take a sip of water. It's okay to be nervous, but you have to be able to control those nerves. And then pace yourself. So try not to speak too quickly or too slowly. And these are all the kinds of things that we'll be practicing in our classes. So I just wanted to make the comment that presenting in English is challenging, of course, but presenting in your native language is also challenging. So these presentation skills will help you with in any language, really. All right, next one. I believe this is our last question. So another thing that we do at TCalc in our various programs and classes is to practice your writing skills. So let's take a look at these essays. These essays are meant to be for admission to university. So you would be writing this essay to introduce yourself to the university and in hopes that you will be accepted to that university. So taking a look at the two, now for this one we are comparing which one is stronger. Which one is a stronger presentation? Number one, or not, excuse me, which one is a stronger essay sample? Number one or number two? And if you want to type that in the chat, and also maybe type why you think number one or number two is stronger. It says number two. All right, let's take a look at the next page, the next slide. So I would agree. Number two seems to be stronger. And let's start with number one. So it's a it feels negative, right? So as an admissions officer or as somebody reading an essay, I don't necessarily want to start by hearing complaining. I have 2 young children and I hear complaining a lot, but there's also some grammar mistakes here. So it's very, very easy to fix spelling and grammar mistakes in, for example, the word application in Word. So make sure that you do that. It's a very simple thing to do. Number two goes into more detail. It's definitely more positive. It talks about how it was challenging, but it helped me focus on my goals. So number two is something that as a teacher or an admissions officer, I might want to read more of. Okay. So those are just some writing samples. And again, you will be taking a look at those kinds of things in your classes. And well done. Thanks for those of you who participated either in the chat or in your minds. And here we have 2 different certificates for our online students. On the left side, you would be receiving this at the successful completion of some of those programs that we talked about. And on the right side, this is an example of a digital badge, which is verified. And you would be able to tag this onto your LinkedIn profile or your signature at the end of your emails, things like that. So thanks a lot for participating. I appreciate it. Hope to see you at Temple.
Thank you, Janice. Okay, and then we always like to remind people to find us on social media. And you'll see where you can find us down here. We are Temple Calc at any of the social media platforms that you are on. You can find us at Temple Calc. And we have a little fun vocabulary Monday, every Monday. Improve your vocabulary with us. So that might be good motivation to join us on social media. And if you have any questions, this is a great time to ask. And you can put those in the chat. I know somebody earlier asked, are the conversation classes fun? And my answer to that is yes, most definitely. And what makes it fun is that it is so student-centered. So the instructor, basically the role of the instructor is to introduce a topic and introduce some of the guidelines and materials for maybe having a conversation around that topic. And then the students take over at that point. And because it is for more advanced level English speakers, and because it is typically graduate students or professionals, we find that at that level, most people are not too shy to speak up. So the feedback we get on that conversation class is phenomenal. Students say it's the best English class they've ever taken. They never learned so much. They never practiced so much. So my answer to that question would be yes, it is fun. So if there's no other questions, you can see the email here, tcalc@temple.edu. You can always email us. I actually checked that email. So you would be emailing me and I can answer any question that you have.
So Jackie, someone asked, can I take online courses? And I'm just writing yes. Several of the classes that Jackie spoke about today are indeed online classes. We will be following up with you in an email with more, details and links and things like that you can access to explore our online classes more. And I think Jackie's going to be pulling up a slide.
Right. Yeah. So these are two of the online classes that we have. So the first one I was just talking about, that Conversations in English, and it really is preparing you for the English speaking classroom or workplace environment. And then the second one is Presentations and Pronunciation, which really helps to improve your confidence and your fluency in doing presentations in English.
Someone asks, how can I communicate with my teacher if my English level is low? This is a great question, Jackie.
Yeah. So you mean if in your English class?
Yes.
How do you communicate with your teacher? Yeah, that is a really good question. So all of our teachers have been teaching English for many years and have master's or doctoral degrees in the field. So most of them speak other languages, but that doesn't mean that they speak your language. So what comes with the experience and the education of being an outstanding teacher of English is the ability to communicate with students, even if their English is very basic. So it really is the teacher's responsibility to use strategies to understand you, even if your English is low, and then to help you improve your communication to make that a bit easier for you. Does that make sense? We have, for our in-person intensive English program, we have 10 levels of instruction. So it goes from very, very beginner level all the way up to advanced. And those very beginner level students are the ones that I think build the strongest relationship with their teacher, because they rely on their teacher's expertise and ability to help them communicate so much. And so it really is a special relationship when you're at that beginner level. You do have a special relationship with your teacher.
Someone says, can I still make an application if I don't have an English proficiency score? And I wrote, yes, you don't need a language score to come to the center, and that you will take a test before you start your classes. So we do not require a language score.
Yeah, yeah. That is such a good question. So the center does not require a language score to take classes with us. And many graduate programs that participate in Graduate Access Temple will not require it if you tell them that your plan is to study English with us. Okay, so we're very flexible about that.
Someone asks, how much time will I spend in class every week? And I said, it depends on the class or program you want to take, and that you'll speak more. Yeah.
If you come to do our in-person intensive English language class, and many students do that, including graduate students, you will be in class 21 hours a week learning English. And yes, you do get homework. So the intensive program is designed to accelerate your language learning. Not everybody has time for that, though. So that's why we do provide other options like these 2 online programs that you can also improve your English, but it's not intensive. Any other questions? You guys asked really good questions. Thank you. Okay. Let me get back to that main, where's all of the, I'm going to end the show. There we go. Whoops. And maybe I'll stop sharing. Before I do that, let me just go back to here. There we go. I just wanted to bring up the email again. So please email us. And like Janice said, you'll be getting an email from us anyway, once we get all of your contact information. Okay, so feel free to communicate. And if you prefer communicating in Turkish, that is fine also. And we can always find somebody who can help us to translate. We do actually have a few Turkish students at our center, and they do help us sometimes with translating. Okay, great. Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure meeting with all of you. And we hope to see you either in Philadelphia or online.
Yes, thank you very much for the great presentation, Jackie and Janice. It was very informative for the attendees. And you covered all of the questions. Thank you for your answers too. Also, I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Umarım sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. Temple University ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için chat kısmında paylaşılmış olan mail adresinden Jackie ve Janice'e ulaşabilirsiniz. Bir sonraki webinarlarımızda görüşmek üzere. Thank you very much again, you guys. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.